Yo, what's up, dudes? So today I decided that I'm not going to be crazy anymore. That I'm done with crazy, and I wanted to. I took pictures of everything that I'll like put in a Google Photo album and put below. So I mean, if you like catch a glimpse of something, you're like, I would like to take that in closer. All the photos will be below, but why did I want to come here talking about not being crazy? I think. Oh, I also I had some time, and I decided, I'm gonna sit down and start working on my book, or one of my books. And then I clicked around and found I had made a somewhat serious attempt at that around this time last year, oddly enough. And I'll put what I wrote at that time. It's not super edited, but it's not super terrible. I read through it. I'll put that below. And the thing about what brought this comment up is Magda. Like, I want to get rid of. Maybe I'll pull it out when I get home. Like when I get manic/crazy. Mania doesn't equal crazy, but mania certainly helps propel any kind of crazy forward. I'm at this river park here. This is the Beijing Bridge. This is the first time that since I started running that I came down this way. Kind of the mountains are up like right over there. I get confused as to whether I should call it a mountain or a hill. I think mountain is more appropriate. But what brought up the comment and the thought was I'm just all over the place, but this place is cool. Like early morning, there'll be a bunch of old people dancing there randomly. But what brought the thought up is I'm gonna get rid of a bunch of shirts and clothing, apparel that I buy when I'm kind of in, let's call it spirit mode, manic fueled spirit mode. Like, I'm gonna get rid of it all. And Magda was like, well, why don't you keep it for the next time you're crazy? Remember we said that's what we'll do. And I was just like, no, I'm not gonna be crazy anymore. Which is weird, because what's strange about that is it seems like that's something that I would have told myself at some point in the past. Here, maybe I spin around and use this as the background. But it's actually not something I've ever told myself. I've told myself I want to cure bipolar or go med-free or this kind of stuff, but I've never been like, okay, I'm done with being crazy. And I haven't really articulated it fully on paper or anything yet, so you're getting the kind of the raw version of what I mean by that. But what I mean by that, I guess a few things. One would not be doing something, not creating a world of my own so far removed from the collective reality that it starts to interfere with my ability to participate collectively. That would be a part of it. A part of it would be, for a while anyway, I'll elaborate on this a little bit, but for a while anyway, putting away like story kind of stuff, Monkey King stuff, Buddhist stuff, gods and demons and spirits and whatever. Just putting that to the side, not saying what that is or isn't. I have an opinion on all of that in terms of real and not real. But yeah, just capping all that. And really focusing on the practical. And I guess this has been something it was 2015 when I began to attempt to retire Milltown Kid. And it was a struggle. I talk about that a little bit in the little portion of the book I wrote. But, that was kind of a back and forth. And then I made, quote unquote made, I know that my mom and people, and, they see me, my legal name is Casey Abbott Payne. Anyhow, I made up a Casey Abbott Payne character to counter the Milltown Kid character So, Casey Abbott Payne, I built around Tai Chi and Buddhism and Taoist things. Yeah, so basically I'm relaxing all that. And yeah, like we'll see. Here it is, I'm stating it. I think May 18th, 2019, by the Gregorian calendar, that I won't be crazy again. But so the crazy, when I do get quote unquote crazy again, it's going to be controlled crazy, in that ritualized crazy, let's call it. I think a part of why I wanted to come over here with the art and the spray paint stuff, because this stuff is crazy, but not, right? Like, because it has art has a framework where you can, there's situations where art and crazy is appropriate, right? Like doing this here is fine. You try to do that on a police station, So, it's all about kind of like understanding, creating the boundaries for different frameworks of reality or whatever. Where was I going with that? Again, like I said, ritualizing the crazy in the future. Like, because something I'm really interested in, which is, it's kind of crazy, but not, is like shamanism and stuff, right? Like there's this global tradition among indigenous cultures and different, that have different principles to shamanism, which inside of the more logical mind, like their practices and stuff seem almost like they just don't make any sense. Like they're totally irrational. I think there's a lot of rationality in that. I think there's a lot of rationality in my past crazies. Oh, and then I touch on it in the book thing a little bit, but I've been, I guess I didn't touch on this. Like what I was gonna say, a quote that came to mind I put on Facebook was, you can't know normal until you understand crazy. And if I kind of elaborate on that, without getting like truly crazy, like my shit last year and different times I've been truly crazy. And it's really easy to take whatever version of crazy that you've been presented either through birth or maybe you got introduced to another version of crazy. And like, for example, a version of crazy could be you're Christian or Catholic or atheist or capitalist or communist or, there's many, many versions. And it's really easy to, let's say you developed in one of these systems and then for whatever reason, your personal experiences, you talk to someone, they kind of said that large portions of your system are irrational or crazy. So you drop that system and pick up another system. And over time, maybe you say, oh, okay, now I have a normal, I'm normal now. Like that, what I was doing there was crazy. This thing is normal. Based on what I understand from my other system, I can look at these other systems and see they're crazy. I mean, like using atheism and theism or monotheism or multi-theism, whatever. There are people who are born atheists and become very religious, and there are people who are born religious and become very atheist. Some might look at the other one as being crazy. Anyhow, I've adopted many forms of crazy, and kind of like for example, I don't know, I'm thinking like Thelema. I remember looking into Mormonism seriously for a while. Taoism, Buddhism, but then getting into the religious aspects of those, the ritualized aspects of those. Did I say Thelema? All kinds of different conspiracies about aliens and multi-dimensional beings being present in our world, and or fourth dimensional being, like I've like taken on and process the world through those all these different lenses. And seriously, right? Like, not Mormonism, I never got serious, but a lot of the other ones, I was like, I just took it as like a new reality, right? And yeah, it's really, I think it's hard to get a sense of normal without understanding crazy. So yeah, that's that. I should get back to my run. Yeah, so the photos below, a little book below. Oh, and I'll just drop this thought here right at the end. But I got a couple book ideas. I don't know if I'll merge them all into one book or what. You know, one book idea is to create a 108 book to guide a person through their first 108 cycle. You know, with just with something to read every day, something short, something that helps understand the system and philosophy. So I kind of sat down and I was working on that, but then it turned into what I'll now call my 108, which, again, I like making systems and frameworks. I think lots of people would like to write a book of any kind, or specifically a book about themselves. But it seems daunting, but I just had this idea of listing, so you'd have 108 chapters. They can be as long as short as you want, or they could be structured where each chapter only has 108 words if you wanted to get sick with it. But just pick 108 words that are important to you for whatever reason. It could be names of people, movies, books, thoughts, places, whatever. And you pick 108 of them, and then you write. They're basically they serve as a prompt to just write why that's important, or why you included it, or write whatever it is you want. You could add a photo. I mean, it could just be a photo book with nothing. It could be, you know, whatever. So that one seems fun to work on. So I wrote more than 108 words, and I'll probably sit down and write a lot more than 108 words, and then throw them in like an Excel spreadsheet, and maybe rank them somehow, which ones I like the most for whatever reason, and take those 108 and then write it. That's an easy mode book. Anyhow, yeah, so I suppose what I mean when I say stop being crazy is I will make sure my crazy is contained, you know, in a way that isn't crazy. It's all about, collective versus individual systems, right? I mean, if you just pluck someone up out of the Middle East came to mind for some reason, or anywhere, you just pick someone up from somewhere and put them somewhere else, they will, have gone from being normal to crazy, like in a flash. So, all right, that's a nice long ramble for today. Don't think I'll have to add anything else to this. I will catch you tomorrow. Peace. Yo, I forgot that I said I was gonna pull out my the manic stuff. Oh, actually, some of that stuff up there is manic stuff too. Anyhow, I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do with this stuff. A part of me, there's a clothing bin right down the street. I was like, I'm gonna just pile it all up and throw it in that clothing bin. But pulling it out, this is the Golden Dragon area here. Pulling it out, I think what I'm going to do, because I've essentially kept every article of clothing because there's a story associated with it of some kind, Milltown Clan. And I'm going to go ahead and get I was just going to send everybody their money back, but I have that new, that Milltown Clan shirt that I got designed. I'll go ahead and do that to close out that chapter. But, yeah, all of these have a story, and I think what I'll do is each article of clothing I will turn into a story, and then I'll pack it up, and what's that dude's name? Barduk, something. Yeah, I'll pack it up, and then sell it one day when I'm rich and famous. Well, I guess I don't need to, if I'm rich and famous, I won't need the money. I'll auction it one day to a charity of some kind. Kermit is, man, me and Kermit go way back. Anyhow, there, that's that. Oh, the only thing I won't get rid of ever is the M. Man, that light is crazy. I thought I would have. I don't know why it's doing that. It's wild. Anyway, the old M Kid shirt. I like that. Like that little logo and the 0. That's the original shirt. That was the first shirt I made. There'll be more to come, I suppose. Anyway, there. That's it. Peace. Yo, behind the scenes. So here, that's how much I raised selling shirts. I think I only sold. Where is it? I don't know where it says how many I sold. Not that many. I never took the money out, and I don't know if I said it in the video. I was planning on just sending it back, but boom, there's the shirt. I think that's a 3 and 6 in this old Chinesey script. There you go. See, 3, 6. And I don't know what that last character is. Looks like I'll have to look that up. Maybe it's for chamber. That was gonna be the back of the shirt, but I think I'm just gonna do the front. Yeah, if somebody, one of you guys happen to want to get in on that last shirt, this isn't me trying to sell you a shirt, but I mean, if you wanted one, there's still time. There's still time. Everything's cleaned up here. Just the M Kid. And oh, dude, I forgot. I forgot to show you my most epic manic purchase here. I only found one, but Yeezus walks with me. That's amazing. That's amazing. Greatest socks ever, I think. Alrighty. Deuces.